Wow, great. So, when I was writing this album, I had kind of covered everything I wanted to cover, and there was another issue, another very important cause that kept pulling at me. And a lot of the songs in the album were, are funny, but it all came from my heart. And I thought, is it okay to sort of step out into just what I'm feeling? And so I went on a limb a little bit with this. And but this issue that was pulling at me was Black Lives Matter. And I felt some resistance from within to writing a song about Black Lives Matter, because as a white person I felt unsuited to write a song about a movement that didn't belong to me. So I put the idea away. I already had 10 songs. I thought it's great, but the refrain kept coming back to me, and I realized that Black Lives Matter is not a phrase meant to be said by black folks and heard by white folks. Its power is in it being said by all, heard by all, repeated by all. And I think it's exactly our failure to take personal and communal responsibility for each other as human beings is what led us to being in this situation in the first place. I think many people are afraid to use the phrase Black Lives Matter because there's shame in admitting the truth that's behind it, and sadness at the idea that it needs to be said. Our generation didn't create this problem. The root of the racial injustice we face today is the legacy of years of systematic injustice and oppression. We inherited a broken system. But just because we didn't create the problem doesn't mean we are not responsible to fix it. The anger built into this issue, like the shame, is uncomfortable for many folks. But if you have the luxury of choosing whether or not to be angry, you must acknowledge you are living in a system that's not working equally for all people. We should feel the shame, we should feel the anger, but if we only feel these things, we'll become paralyzed by them. This issue demands us to act. We need to move forward. And shame is a window on our past, and we need to turn our eyes toward a vision for the future. Anger is a fire that can drive us to act, but the long... You're feeling it. I'm with you. I'm so with you. I love you. Anger is a fire that can drive us to act, but the long and arduous journey towards change can only be fueled by hope. We need to mourn for what was, face what is, and believe in what can be.
Amen, brother.
Amen. Amen to you. As a Jewish person, I feel an obligation to speak out against oppression, discrimination, and marginalization. Because of the color of our skin, Jews in this country have largely been afforded the privileges of being white. And so I acknowledge that for all that we share in common with the black experience, our experience in America has been vastly different than it has been for people of color. We may not share a common past, but we have to work together to share in a vision for the future. Perhaps I can't truly understand what it's like to be a person of color in this country, but I feel that it is my responsibility as a human being to say Black Lives Matter. And as it says in the Jewish teachings of Pirkei Avot, the ethics of our ancestors, it is not incumbent upon you to complete the work, but neither are you free to desist from it. So this is my work that I've put in towards this, and let's bring up everybody. Darius, Amy Jo, please welcome Darius and Amy Jo Jackson. That's what you say to the band. And we're going to bring up our friend Ethan Fox. Play the drum.
You're so eloquent, and as a person of color, I have to say thank you for your allyship and your voice. You always use it for good, so thank you.